being here with us this evening. So that means if we have over 1,000 guests, it means we probably have 1,250 electronic devices out in the room. So I'm going to ask you to take a moment right now to silence all of them so that they do not interrupt our program. Thank you. As with any program, we must lead with an invocation. So joining us for this evening's invocation from Riverside City Fire Department, Chaplain Don Roseberry.
Thank you for inviting me, folks. Will you pray with me? All right. Lord, we thank you for this beautiful city, for the gorgeous landscape is only outdone by the beautiful people that you've brought here. We ask for your wisdom and strength for our leaders to prosper our beloved city. Lord, we need your help with our budget. I think it's something like 5 loaves and 2 fish, and I think we borrowed the fish. We ask that you multiply what we have and give us wisdom to use our treasures to glorify you. We ask for protection for our fire, sheriff, and police. Thank you for the courage that they exhibit each and every day. Lord, we pray for all of our citizens that they would be blessed and they would live in this wonderful city. Lord, we ask that you would help those who have lost their way. Help them to back to a productive way of life. Be with those who are injured and sick, and with the doctors and nurses and healthcare workers that treat them and get them back on their feet. Last of all, Lord, we ask for your grace. You know we're going to mess it up from time to time, and we ask that you help us get up and dust off and get back to the proper way of doing things. We ask all these things in the name of the Creator of heaven and earth. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Roseberry. Now I'd ask you to all stand for the singing of our national anthem. From California Baptist University, I'd like to welcome student Sophie Hepton.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Are we all ready to play baseball now? I think so. Thank you so much, Sophie, for an excellent rendition of our national anthem. Now, of course, in the age of social media, we encourage you to follow along and join in the conversation with us this evening. And if you do so, make sure to use the hashtags RIV, SOTC, or RIVBiz to join the conversation. And of course, we wouldn't be able to do this event without the generous support of numerous supporters and sponsors. And I'd like to take this moment to recognize our platinum level sponsors. And you have the program at your place setting, and you could please review it for the full list of our generous supporters. And of course, audience, you know the drill. Please hold your applause until all have been announced. Starting off, Albert A. Webb Associates, Altura Credit Union, American Medical Response, Athens Services, Best and Krieger, California Baptist University, Canyon Springs, Chase Bank, Fenimore Law, Kaiser Permanente, Lamar Advertising, La Sierra Florist, The Mark, Northgate Market, PNC Bank, Riverside City Firefighters Association, Riverside Community Hospital, Riverside Community Services Foundation, Riverside County Office of Economic Development, Riverside County Office of Education, Riverside Fire Management Group, Riverside Unified School District, Riverside University Health System, and Southern California Edison. Thank you for your support. It is my pleasure to introduce our honored guests today. Please stand to be recognized, and again, audience, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Western Municipal Water District Board members Gracie Torres, President Mike Gardner, and General Manager Craig Miller. Riverside Unified School District Board of Education members Tom Hunt, Brent Lee, Dale Kinnear, Dr. Noemi Hernandez Alexander, President Dr. Angelo Farouk, and Superintendent Renee Hill. Riverside Community College District Board of Trustees members Virginia Blumenthal and Mary Figueroa, Riverside City College President Dr. Claire Oliveros, and Riverside Community College District Chancellor Dr. Woldab Isak. University of California Riverside Chancellor Kim Wilcox. City of Riverside Council members Aaron Edwards, Steve Hemingway, Jim Perry, Ronaldo Fierro, and City Manager Mike Futrell. Naval Surface Warfare Center Corona Division Commander Captain Michael Aina. County of Riverside Auditor Controller Ben J. Benoit. Representing the 31st Senate District, Senator Richard Roth. And the Mayor of the City of Riverside, Patricia Locke Dawson, and her husband, Scott. Thank you all for joining us here this evening. And of course, as we always do, we're very pleased to host students from the Riverside Youth Council, California Baptist University, La Sierra University, Riverside City College, and the University of California, Riverside. They are the future leaders of our community. So students, if you're out there, please stand and be recognized. Now I'd like to recognize some of our gold sponsors. Associated Builders and Contractors, Southern California Chapter. California State University, San Bernardino, Collins Aerospace, The Grove Community Church, Inland Empire Health Plan, Inland Southern California United Way, La Sierra University, and OPR Communications. Thank you for all your support. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, the beverage stations at the back are open. Please make sure to get your drinks because we will close them before the mayor's comments. Now, of course, we have a number of great presentations to make this evening, so to kick it off and present the Beautification Awards, please welcome from Keep Riverside Clean and Beautiful, Board Chair Tim Peters and Executive Director Andrea De Leon.
Thank you, Nick. This part of the program was established to recognize businesses and institutions that best represent the spirit of keeping Riverside beautiful. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank members of Keep Riverside Clean and Beautiful Advisory Board who helped make this program a success. Let's give them a round of applause. It is my pleasure to present the winners of this year's Beautification Awards. Please hold your applause until the finalists in each category has been announced.
Welcome to the 2024 Beautification Awards. Sponsored by Keep Riverside Clean and Beautiful. Photographs by Michael J. Elderman Photography and Brenda Flowers Photography. Video presentation by Milestone Media, filmtovideo.com. In the category of Small Business Beautification. Third place, Los Tacos Locos. Sharing second place, Pizza Twist. And Quesadilla Dave's and Cantina. And in first place, Farmhouse Collective.
Accepting awards are Angel Vivas and Mike Sadigian from Los Tacos Locos, Karan Preet Singh from Pizza Twist, and Greg Bellows from Quesadilla Dave's and Cantina, and Alyssa Diganji from Farmhouse Collective. On to the next category.
New construction. In third place, the UCR Student Health and Counseling Center. In second place, we have Canyon Springs Healthcare. And in first place, True Evolution.
Accepting awards are Dr. Elizabeth Mondragon from University of California, Riverside Student Health and Counseling Center, Matt Reed from Canyon Springs Healthcare, and Jorge de los Santos from True Evolution. Congratulations to our winners. Now on to the next category.
Property maintenance. In third place, Estrella Taqueria Lounge. In second place, Ultra Express Car Wash. And in first place, Icon Vehicle Dynamics.
Accepting awards are Doug Jacobs from Tibbetts Professional Office Building, Brother Alfred Alexis Lorido from Iglesia Ni Cristo, Local Congregation of Riverside, and Ruba Barragan from Mr. Taco Van Buren. On to the next category.
Exterior reconstruction. In third place, Tibbetts Professional Office Building. In second place, the Iglesia Ni Cristo, Local Congregation of Riverside. And in first place, Mr. Taco, Van Buren Boulevard.
Let's try that again. Accepting awards are Doug Jacobs from Tibbetts Professional Office Building, Brother Alfred Alexis Lorido from Iglesia Ni Cristo, Local Congregation of Riverside, and Ruben Barragan from Mr. Taco Van Buren Boulevard. Let's give them a round of applause. On to our next category.
Historical and cultural preservation. Cafecito House. Originally constructed in 1895, Cafecito House has been faithfully restored, maintaining its outside detailing with new foundations to ensure its longevity. This property has made it its mission to provide a unique location that preserves the comfortable and small-town feel of times past. Cafecito House.
Accepting on behalf of Cafecito House, Steve Chavarria. On to the next category.
Sustainable design and innovation. The La Sierra University Sustainability Park, The implementation of a freight farm container has allowed La Sierra University to increase the sustainability of its campus and the surrounding community. Not only does this provide sustainable and organic vegetables year-round, but it also acts as a hydroponics learning experience for the students. La Sierra University Sustainability Park.
Accepting on behalf of La Sierra University Sustainability Park, Provost April Summit. On to the next category.
Chairman's Award. The RCC Wheelock Football Field and Track. The Arthur N. Wheelock Stadium has been revitalized into a new sports landmark and icon for the community. Engineers and architects created an innovative storm drainage infrastructure to protect the field and stadium for years to come. RCC Wheelock Football Field and Track.
Accepting on behalf of Riverside City College Wheelock Football Field and Track, Dr. Claire Oliveros. On to our next category.
Mayor's Award. The UCR School of Medicine Education, Building 2. This property meets leading industry standards for energy efficiency by utilizing metal panels and a glass wall to create natural lighting throughout the building. Other additions include instructional spaces and technology to benefit all students. UCR School of Medicine Education, Building 2.
Accepting on behalf of the University of California School of Riverside Medicine Education Building 2, Vice Chancellor Deborah Dees. On to our final category.
Award of Distinction. The Mark. The design of the Mark honors its history by preserving the unified 1926 facade of the former Stalder building. Mere steps away from the historic Mission Inn Hotel and Fox Theater, this property features 165 apartments and a retail space hosting street-level boutiques and restaurants. The Mark.
Accepting on behalf of the Mark, Michelle Rubin. On behalf of Keep Riverside Clean and Beautiful, congratulations to all of the award recipients for your commitment to keeping Riverside beautiful. Let's give our winners another round of applause. And now, back to you, Nick.
Thank you, Tim and Andrea. And congratulations again to all of our Beautification Award recipients. Now I'd like to take a moment to thank our remaining gold sponsors. Pacific Premier Bank, Printing Industries Credit Union, a division of Credit Union of Southern California, Riverside Community College District, Riverside Convention Center, Riverside Medical Clinic, Stream Kim Hicks Rage Alfaro, University of California, Riverside, and Varner and Brandt. Thank you to all of our gold sponsors. Now, ladies and gentlemen, innovation is the path to Riverside's future. To introduce our Riverside Innovation Award and its recipient, please welcome Mayor Patricia Locke Dawson.
Thanks. Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. You know, Riverside prides itself on being the city of arts and innovation, and some take this motto as their life's mission. To honor those who go above and beyond to make Riverside a city that is vibrant, innovative, and attractive, last year I established an annual Innovation Award, which I presented posthumously to Mark Rubin, Michelle's dad. This year, I've chosen to honor two people. I'm looking at them right now. I've chosen to honor two people who are using social media to bring together the many diverse areas of inland Southern California and tell our story. Their innovative Instagram channel, @InlandEmpire, creates a sense of community in one of the largest metropolitan statistical areas in the country. And they tell the Riverside story along the way, both to people already living here and potential visitors from around the world. Using social media to celebrate restaurants and small businesses, most of them family-owned, they've captured the imagination of the region with their engaging and fun videos, I got to be in one, that highlight the depth and diversity of inland Southern California. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present the second City of Riverside Innovation Award in 2024 to the creative team behind the @InlandEmpire Instagram page, Mark Menendez and Justin Hudson.
Wow, I honestly did not think that I would be receiving this award if you had asked me a couple weeks ago. And on a Thursday night, too. It's crazy. So Justin and I have been honored to meet some pretty incredible people in our city and in our region and business owners. And we truly feel honored to be able to tell their story. And along the way, if we can help their business and help their journey, then all the more better. But I started my page about 1.5 years ago. Mark from Riverside is what helped connect me with this amazing individual right here. And one of the things that we realized was our love for this city and for this area and for small business owners, and to be able to do everything we could to help them. And so that's what started it, and that's why we do it, and thankful for this guy to be able to do it with him.
This guy is too humble. Yeah, round of applause for Mark Menendez. Real quick, first I want to say thank you, God. I mean, I appreciate this opportunity to be here. And also we got to say thank you to Queen P. You guys might know her as Patricia Locke Dawson, but this is Queen P. And Nick, I want to say thank you guys. The support you guys have given us over the years is amazing, and we appreciate it. And also to our amazing community, thank you. Mom, I see you watching at home. Thank you. I love you. And I appreciate the sacrifice that you made for us to be here in Riverside. So I appreciate you for that. And Mark, this guy has a heart of gold. He has an amazing story. He needs to write a book, and you guys all need to go buy it. But if you guys don't know, Mark has an incredible story, and the things that he does for Riverside is beyond amazing. And so we teamed up, and we have this beautiful project that we highlight the Inland Empire, and the impact that we've been able to make for these small businesses is beyond our wildest dreams. And so one last thing, I want to encourage each and every one of you to dream big. Dreams are reachable every day. And hopefully you guys are able to fulfill your purpose, because life is short. And if you guys can all do us one last favor, put one finger in the air, not the middle finger. And as you look to your neighbor, I want you to say to your neighbor, Mark, come with me. No matter where you're from, together we are one. Peace and love, y'all.
Congratulations again to Justin and Mark. Now for the introduction of the Riverside Hero Award. For almost 30 years, the Chamber has presented the Hero Award to a group or individual who has made a contribution to promote Riverside at the state or national level during the past year. Now, before I get into our recipient, I need to engage your help with something really quickly. So I know we have a lot of folks in the room. I need you to do a little bit of a learning exercise with me. So I'm going to ask you all to stick your hands in the air and wave them about like this. Okay? Most of you got, I see like one table there, wasn't paying attention. Okay, so that was lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, I want you to put your hands together like this and then shake them front back like this. Okay? That's lesson number 2. So now you have learned how to applaud and say congratulations in American Sign Language. So as we get to our next recipient, I expect you all to put it to use. To highlight this year's winner, please enjoy this video. As you may or may not know, the California School for the Deaf Riverside is one of 2 schools in the state of California that serve the deaf community. We are proud to have them right here in our hometown. And as you know, they have excelled on the athletic field, in the classroom, on the campus, on the big screen, on the small screen. Pretty much everywhere you look, they're representing their community, our community, exceptionally well. So it is our honor to present this year's Riverside Hero Award to California School for the Deaf Riverside, and accepting the award is Superintendent April MacArthur.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
This is heavy.
Say you don't know me, I'll recognize my face. Say you don't care to go
Thank you.
to that kind of place. Need a hoopla.
Hello, everyone. I am just elated, thrilled, and honored to accept this award. Thank you. Before I share my remarks, I'd like to introduce these 2 students, Joshua Seipert, our student body government president, and then Joseph Barrios, our vice president. And the 2 of them are your CIF football championship winners. I wanted to take this opportunity to discuss why CSDR is so special. Growing up, I didn't appreciate Winnie the Pooh. I just didn't understand why until I became an adult. I became deaf at infancy, but I didn't have access to language till I was 12 years old. And then as an adult, I saw this picture of Winnie the Pooh talking to Christopher, the little boy. And he says, "What? You too? I'm not alone. I'm not the only one." And that struck me, and it hit me hard, Because as humans, all we want is to belong, to belong. Regardless of age, journey, we all want to belong, and that is CSDR. We provide an opportunity to our students and staff access to language to pursue their dreams. Round of applause for that. Joshua, would you like to share a few words?
Absolutely. Thank you. It's a pleasure to see everyone here. I actually was raised in a mainstream program in Downey, but my entire family is deaf. We used signed exact English. We used, like, for example, bus and vans, all initialized sign. It just was not a beneficial schooling environment for me because I had an interpreter constantly. I wasn't able to play sports, flag football and basketball and baseball. Football, there was no interpreter provided for me. My dad was always there with me to try his best to help me with the movements and the plays. And I just wasn't happy. Until 4th grade, we found out from my mom that School for the Deaf Riverside, I had never seen that school before. I had been there briefly when I was a very small child, and I don't remember much. I got there, everyone signed. Everyone was there laughing and joking along in American Sign Language. I had that connection with them. I felt this was so special to me. You can see the achievements in our football team. Joseph and I together, we were both in mainstream schools growing up, and I actually convinced Joseph to come to CSDR. He's much happier, I'm much happier. CSDR is the best education and also sporting events for us. So I'm happy to see you here tonight, and thank you so much. Hello, I was raised in LA. I didn't transfer to the school until I was much older. I didn't have any communication with my family whatsoever. I found Riverside, and I begged my family. They were definitely doubtful. They couldn't let go of me. I told them I would be just fine. They finally approved for me to transfer to Riverside School for the Deaf 2 years ago. I tried out with football for the mainstream program, and sometimes the interpreters wouldn't show up, and there wasn't anything I could do. It was disappointing. I tried my best to understand the plays, and I just could not understand it without the language. I was curious about Riverside, and I was finally able to make the connection to the deaf coaches who could sign fluently. I understood the plays. I picked up the language, and at that point, we were able to win the games. We had a few injuries in the beginning of the season, and we got much better, and we won the championship. It was a huge, huge moment for me. I didn't think that we could do it, but I had to convince myself that we can. I had to be confident in my team. We won the CIF champions, and it was because of CSDR Riverside.
I'm about to wrap up here, but I just wanted to recognize our students that are with us this evening at our table, our staff and our coaches that have accompanied us, the families, our alumni, and you, the community. Thank you for making CSDR and Riverside a place where we belong. Thank you.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
Well, congratulations again to our recipients from California School for the Deaf Riverside. You know, I was impressed by the poise of those two young gentlemen on this stage here, because I can tell you right now that standing in front of all of you is a daunting task, and these two handled it like pros. So again, congratulations. Now we've come to the part where I get the pleasure to introduce our speaker for tonight's State of the City. She was elected mayor of the city of Riverside in November 2020 after a distinguished career championing issues of conservation, education, and mental health. Her experience ranges from small business owner to public service in every level of government, ranging from local school board to working with the U.S. Bureau of Land Management. Across all of these roles, she remains committed to championing issues delivering mental health services to those in need and preserving and cultivating the Santa Ana River. But before I welcome her on stage, please enjoy this brief video highlighting this year's theme, Riverside in Motion.
Welcome to a place that was born to rise and shine.
A place that serves as a beacon to those who seek to seize the day.
Attracting generations of people with a zest for life. And embracing opportunities of our present, built upon the foundations of our past.
This is the pulse of a uniquely diverse region, strategically located at the heart of Southern California.
This is Riverside.
A city founded on growth and a groundbreaking vision coming to life.
A city of arts and innovation.
Innovation and thought.
In leadership.
In technology.
And in industry.
Riverside is a city that is different.
Diverse.
Dynamic.
A community of makers,
Builders.
Dreamers.
And doers.
When you think of a city with a mission,
a city with opportunity,
With talent.
Inclusion.
Optimism.
and whose time is now.
Think of a city in motion.
Think Riverside.
We
are all Riverside.
And we are just getting started.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the 18th Mayor of the City of Riverside. Give it up for your Mayor, Mayor Patricia Locke Dawson.
I love to dance. Who else loves to dance? All right, come on. Who loves to dance? Thank you. Well, good evening, Riverside. I'm so happy to be here tonight. I couldn't wait to get out on the stage. Did you love that video? It was fantastic, wasn't it? Let's give it up also for the very best chamber in all of California and its excellent, exceptional President Nicholas Adcock. Please give him a round of applause. And to my friends and colleagues on City Council, Aaron Edwards, Clarissa Cervantes, Ronaldo Fierro, Chuck Conder, Gabby Placencia, Jim Perry, and Steve Hemingway, thank you. Thank you. I so enjoy working with and alongside you. Thank you for your dedicated support to a city that we all call home, Riverside. And to our no longer new city manager, Mike Futrell, thank you. Thank you for your leadership to Riverside and the guidance you provide to our wonderful city staff that keep this city running. And most importantly, thank you, all of you, our businesses, our residents and community members that choose Riverside every single day and have instilled in me the greatest honor of a lifetime. Thank you. So 1 year ago, I stood on this stage and challenged all of us to design a better Riverside. Powered by our people, rooted in disciplined ideas, and driven by intentional action. So now, here we are, a year later. Let's check in. How are we doing? Last year, I told you I was tired of hearing that Riverside was a city that was close to everything, right? Because Riverside is a city that has everything. I also told you I was tired of hearing that Riverside was on the cusp of greatness. Because I think we're already great. And that continues to be true. You know, Riverside is a big city. Did you know that it's the 12th largest city in California? We're larger than 99% of all the cities in the United States. Bigger than Cincinnati, Orlando, Pittsburgh, Boise, Baton Rouge, St. Louis, Missouri, we're bigger than all of them. In fact, in almost half the states in the country, we would be the biggest city in that state. So we're no longer a small town waiting for our turn or recognition. Riverside has arrived and we are in motion. We're moving forward, leading the way locally, regionally, and nationally on development, technology, arts, parks, transportation, public safety, you name it. Riverside is innovating and setting the bar. We are a force out in front, rising above the rest as a leader at every level. So let's get things started and talk about how Riverside is in motion through our mission, opportunity, talent, inclusion, optimism, and why our time is now. Now, let's talk about mission statements. We often talk about mission statements, right? Every good organization has one. But here in Riverside, we don't just have a mission statement, we live our mission every day. Our mission to make Riversiders' lives better every day reflects our top priorities: homelessness and public safety. I want to talk about our mission to combat homelessness. But first, I want to introduce you to someone, one of our residents, Deborah Mickelson. In 2021, Deborah lost her sister, Becky, to suicide after begging multiple courts and getting nowhere for the authority to care for her. Becky had been living on the streets, fighting mental illness, and could not care for herself. No longer able to live with the pain, living alone, suffering in a tent, Becky killed herself. And after Becky lost her life, Deborah took this devastating loss and turned it into a force for good and launched a nonprofit called Project Becky to advocate for changes to our mental health laws. And it's stories like Deborah's that ignite in me a passion to work with our governor, our state legislature, my colleagues on city council, and my local bipartisan forum to change our horrendously outdated mental health laws. And because of our advocacy, Riverside County was the first county in the state to launch Care Court. Yeah, it's worth it. And we got additional mental health laws enacted this past year, and we'll see a measure on the ballot in March to create acute psychiatric care facilities. These are the first meaningful changes to our mental health laws in over 50 years. And Riverside has led the way in those changes. And Deborah's here with us tonight, and I want to applaud her for sharing her story. Deborah, can you please stand? And if you're so moved tonight, please consider supporting her nonprofit by visiting projectbecky.org. You can see there's a QR code on the screen you can snap. Thanks. Thanks for being here tonight, Deborah. So as I said, that's one part of the puzzle, right, of homelessness. And that's a long-term thing that we got to fix. But it's also our number one priority to take care of what we have right now. Homelessness is our number one challenge. In fact, it is a challenge for every city across the country. In 2023, homelessness rose across the nation 12%. Across the country, it rose. In California, it only rose 6%. but still it is a national crisis. And here in Riverside, we're tackling this crisis with a three-pronged strategy: prevention, intervention, and enforcement. And while we're already seeing progress, like a 12% reduction in chronic homelessness in the past year alone, we still have work to do. We need to prevent people from becoming homeless in the first place. We need strategies for intervention so people don't become homeless again. And we need to hold people accountable by enforcing the law. So, one way we're preventing people from becoming homeless is to focus on the populations that are at high risk of becoming homeless, such as those leaving our downtown jail. This past year, we partnered with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department and Victory Outreach, a nonprofit organization, to launch Project Connect. Project Connect links former inmates with services and helps return them to their communities to get the help they need. And so far, we're seeing a 50% success rate in accepting services. And so we're looking to expand the program this next year because it's been successful. We were recently awarded the 2023 Safety and Security Award by the Riverside Downtown Partnership for the impact of Project Connect on downtown safety. Thank you, RDP. Another population at high risk of becoming homeless is aged out foster youth. In fact, an 80% chance of becoming homeless if you're an aged out foster youth. That's worth looking at, right? So last year I announced my challenge, my mayor's challenge, to end youth homelessness. And through a collaborative partnership with the County of Riverside, we've been successful. In fact, while the rest of the state's homeless youth population grew, it went up, guess what happened here in Riverside County? We saw a drop of 27% in youth homelessness due to our efforts. And because of that, we were recently recognized by the California State Association of Counties with its Competitive Challenge Award. And I want to thank our county partners in the House, wherever you are out there. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about enforcement and public safety. Public safety has been and continues to be our highest priority in Riverside. Keeping our streets safe is critical to having a prosperous city. So, how are we doing that? By making historic investments in our police department and our public safety engagement teams, which we have done this year. And by ensuring that our police have the support and the resources they need to enforce our laws. You may have heard me say that you can't just throw your sleeping bag down anywhere and set up camp. And that's because in the past year, the City Council has enacted a number of ordinances that limit and have invested in cleaning up encampments in the river bottom and other parts of the city. We've invested $13 million in our wildlands public safety engagement teams. And because of their work, we've seen a dramatic drop in fires in the river bottom this past year as illegal encampments have been moved out and folks connected with services. It's actually been a dramatic difference. Our folks in the downtown area may have noticed this. And we're working to ensure our police department is 100% staffed, possibly for the first time in 20 years. We've hired 60 new police officers, fully staffed our 20 parks and neighborhood specialists, provided 55 new police cars, and put 2 new police helicopters in service. And we also invested in a new security resource pilot program to help our businesses stay safe. This program's been rolled out in key business areas, such as our downtown and Magnolia corridor, with patrols during critical hours of the day, providing support to our local businesses struggling with security concerns. The good news is that this program has alleviated the burden on our Riverside Police Department, allowing them to respond faster to other areas in need. Creative ideas for this and others came from you, our public, and what you told us was that it's critical that we continue the conversation about public safety. And that's why this month I'm launching the Mayor's Public Safety Neighborhood Tour. Together with the Riverside Police Department and city staff, I'll be attending neighborhood meetings throughout the city to provide updates on the latest information and resources for public safety solutions. But we need to hear from you. As I travel to the different neighborhoods, be on the lookout for a date and a meeting location near you so you can make plans to join us and provide your input. And lastly, we need to make sure we're monitoring our progress, right? How do we know if what we're doing is successful? We need to make sure that our solutions are effective, backed by data. Man, I love me some data. Backed by data, and make the best use of our dollars at work. And I'm pleased to announce that we'll be launching our first ever real-time crime dashboard in the next few months. Thank you, Riverside Police Department, for doing that. And finally, before I move on, I just need to say a little something about how we will achieve our mission. And that's our general plan. I mentioned this last year, and I'm here again to ask you for your help in crafting a blueprint for our community's long-term future. This year, we're kicking off our general plan update, which will serve as a guide towards building a future Riverside that works for everyone. So on the screen there, you can scan this QR code, and then you'll receive the latest updates on how you can participate. This is your opportunity to provide input and help us lay the foundation for what the city will look like into 2050. We want to hear your ideas for improvements to major areas of commerce, environment, mobility, and of course, housing. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about opportunity. Riverside is one of the fastest growing cities in California. In fact, we're the fastest growing city in our region in Southern California. And businesses are taking notice. And I'm pleased to announce that we are embarking on a new economic development strategy. We kicked this year off with our first ever Summit of Excellence on January 8th to hear from our business owners, industry experts, and residents on how to build out Riverside's economy. Over 200 people attended, participating in breakout sessions focused on 5 sectors of our economy that are poised for growth: clean and green technology, general technology, arts and tourism, aerospace, and healthcare. Please stay involved as we continue this important work. Now, we're continuing the conversation from this summit by asking our business community, what attracted you to Riverside? Why did your business choose Riverside? And the overwhelming response is our low cost of living, coupled with the lowest water rates in the state, the lowest, plus our own public utility that keeps our electric rates low. In fact, I heard a story last year from a business owner who moved his operation to Riverside from a neighboring city, I won't say which one, and is saving $75,000 a month in utility costs. $75,000 a month in utility costs. And these are the types of incentives that help you relocate your business here. With over 3,500 business licenses issued in the past year alone, Riverside is outperforming its peers by 75%. The number of renewed accounts has also hit an all-time high of 23,000. Now, we all know that time is money. And for Riverside, that means we need your plans checked and your permits issued fast. Yeah. Somebody must be waiting on a permit over there. I don't know. So this past year, we heard that. We know that. And we added 8 new staff positions, including a plan check manager. And this one is one I'm particularly excited about. A plan check manager who will act as a concierge to help businesses and residents move through approvals and permits with ease. And did you know that in 2023, the city processed over 6,000 building permits? 6,000. Valued at over $335 million. That's a level of economic activity we have not seen in our city since 2006. Business is booming in Riverside. And our award-winning one-stop shop continues to evolve, elevate, and improve its in-person and virtual services through a refresh in collaboration with our business and community partners. This means faster, more transparent service to ensure businesses can open, operate, and do what they do best: grow our economy and drive dollars into our city. And Riverside is a hub for emerging businesses as well. But don't just take my word for it. My good friend Dean, the CEO of Omio, is here tonight. He first connected with Riverside at the International Business Conference, Select USA 2023. And let's listen to what he has to say.
The reason why we came to Riverside is because obviously California was represented, but more importantly, the city of Riverside through UC Riverside was at the conference. They really came to us and said, look, we've got a project that we'd like to establish in Riverside. If we could get a project up and running, do you think you could make Riverside your home? And that's how the conversation started. Obviously, cost is very important, and we're aware that costs in California can be quite high, but we're also aware that costs in the Inland Empire can be a lot less than what they are in other places. So we will be establishing our manufacturing facilities here, and the first phase of that project will be to build the first 3 vehicles here in Riverside for the city of Riverside to be operated on the streets of the city of Riverside. We love the vision of the council of being a city that's looking forward into the future. They've got a vision of technology, of a new mobility, of a future mobility, and that's what we're all about.
Thank you, Dean. Do you want to stand up, let everybody know you're here? We're confident that companies like Dean's will attract others to participate in our booming Riverside economy for emerging technology. And just like we understand that time is money, we also understand that we need continued investment to grow our future. And the reality is, companies, especially small and micro businesses, are still feeling the effects of the pandemic. So we're putting our money where our mouth is, and we're investing in the backbone of our community, small businesses. We've put our ARPA dollars to good use to help build resilience in our small businesses. by launching a new small and micro business grant program, putting $6 million directly into the hands of business owners, providing opportunities for workforce training, facade improvements, equipment and system upgrades, and strategies focused on attracting new customers. In 2023, we also awarded almost $1.8 million to nonprofits and faith-based organizations that were negatively impacted by the pandemic to support services, labor, supplies, and operations. And our investment also include funding for our parks as well. Over $20 million is going to support improvements for the Boardwell Park Gymnasium and more. Oh my gosh, that's going to make my friend Del Roberts so happy. He's been bugging me about that for years. Such investments are critical for sustained growth. And we need to provide interesting and cool experiences for our residents, which is why I'm bringing one of the very first public-private partnership workshops in the nation to Riverside. Through my participation in the U.S. Conference of Mayors, P3 Task Force, our city has been selected to partner with the Association for Improvement of American Infrastructure to sponsor the first of a series of workshops throughout the U.S. Next month, we'll bring together cities and private partners to learn how to deliver cool, impactful projects in our community. And through our advocacy efforts, Riverside is getting noticed on a national scale. And partners are bringing innovative models to develop creative experiences for our residents. Like putting the river back in Riverside. You all know that. I love that. The namesake of our beautiful city, the Santa Ana River. A couple years ago, we received a $2 million grant for a project called the River Gateway. And that included improvements like trailheads and drinking fountains at Fairmont, Mount Rubidoux, Ryan Bonominio, and Martha McLean parks. This grant kicked off the idea for the River District. Just imagine the possibilities for the namesake of our beautiful city, the Santa Ana River. The River District envisions the Santa Ana River as a destination. We've kicked off a study for development in the River District, like what we can do with the Armory. Wouldn't it be cool to go hang out in the Armory and have a beer and go down to the river and ride your bike? That's the kind of stuff I think we need to be bringing more of to Riverside. We will explore opportunities for restaurants, nature-based activities, biking, and other forms of recreation and attraction. And stay tuned because more funding is on its way as legislators have prioritized these projects in their budget requests. These investments create opportunities for development and growth that just make living in Riverside more enjoyable. But in the meantime, there's plenty to see and do here in Riverside, and tourism is a big part of our local economy. That's why we're launching the Visit Riverside initiative. Visitors will discover Riverside's distinctive charms and learn about places to eat, see, and explore. The webpage is coming soon, but businesses, we need your help. Submit your information to visitriverside.com. Now, we can't talk about opportunities without mentioning the biggest opportunity for residents and families looking to call Riverside home: housing. As the fastest growing region in California, we are experiencing explosive growth in housing at all levels. We have over 3,000 entitled units in the pipeline. with 680 completed this past year and under 900 under construction, and another 3,000 units under conceptual review. Having an adequate supply of housing at all levels is key to attracting and retaining employers, keeping our students here, creating homes for growing families, and ensuring our seniors have security in their golden years. And making sure that talent lives, works, and plays in our city. Riverside is fortunate to call itself a college town. We have 3 universities and 1 community college, all within the city. So that means 4 higher education institutions dedicated to training our future workforce, providing resources for research and entrepreneurship, and producing graduates that are prepared to shape and contribute to an evolving 21st century economy. In 2023, each of our collegiate institutions achieved important breakthroughs, milestones, and recognitions, demonstrating their efforts to grow, modernize, and adapt in a changing educational landscape. Riverside Community College, who's here? RCC, who's in the house? They were recently named #1 in 2023 as the best nursing school in inland Southern California by the Press Enterprise. Cal Baptist, where's Cal Baptist? Go Lancers, yeah? Cal Baptist Spring, actually I'm supposed to say Lance Up, I think, right? Yeah, okay, thanks, I messed that up. All right, Cal Baptist University's spring commencements came on the heels of a record year of enrollment that totaled over 11,500 students. Crazy. And La Sierra University, where's my La Sierra people? Okay. Saw its placement climb across 3 categories in the most recent U.S. News and World Report for Best Colleges. And my alma mater, go Highlanders, woo! And in case you didn't know, that's UC Riverside. Climbed 13 spots in the latest U.S. News college rankings. That's crazy, 13. They must be doing something right over there, besides graduating me. And not to mention, Cal State University, San Bernardino, our neighbor to the north, their incredible support for our small business and entrepreneurial community. In June of, where are you? Where's my coyotes? I heard some. In June of 2023, the Inland Empire Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State San Bernardino moved its small business development and women's business centers to downtown Riverside, which is now providing vital support to our small and women-owned business. So thank you, Cal State San Bernardino. All right. We have incredible talent coming out of our higher education institutions. I think you all know that. You saw that tonight. But I'm particularly proud of something else, a different place where our talent is coming from. And that is our Youth Job Corps. Last year, Riverside received $4.4 million to support our young residents who would not normally have access to a job or career pathway. With the Youth Job Corps, we've been successful in mapping out a future for them. This program has been life-changing for young talent like Alexandra Diaz, who shares her experience with us today.
My name is Alexandra Diaz. I grew up in Rialto. I graduated from UC Riverside. Currently with Tree People, my responsibilities lie with tree planting, tree care, which involves pruning or watering. Beforehand, I would have anxiety when I was talking to new people. My heart would be pounding. I would break a sweat sometimes. And now I find myself being the initiator in conversations, and I find myself actually enjoying going up to people and getting to know them. That's something I would have never expected. I also feel like this program has taught me how to be a leader, because before I was really nervous about my own decisions. I wouldn't really trust myself, and you really have to work for it. And so what I feel like this program really promises you is the opportunity. They tell you this is the opportunity, this is the goal you have. We're going to give you all the resources to do it. It's just really up to you to take that step.
Wow. What I heard in here was hope, which I just love. Her experiences and others in this program demonstrate how successful we can be when the state gives us money directly and it doesn't go to anybody else, with a direct investment into Riverside. We've now also, because of our success, secured ongoing funding for this program from here on out of $1.7 million a year, which will sustain this workforce pipeline for the youth in our community to develop careers like Alexandra's. Now, it's really important that we keep our talent local, right? And to do that, one of the most important things we can do is connect our students with internships and job opportunities. And so in 2021, I launched a program called Campus Riverside. And it's an initiative that partners with our local businesses to help our students. Is there anybody here that's a Campus Riverside partner with us tonight? No? Well, then, you better get on the stick. You got to come see me then. We'd love to have you partner with us. If you need students, you need talent, you need internships, you have opportunities. We also provide job offers, but also discounts to some of your businesses if you have places for our students. Please let us know and partner with us. Okay, talking about the I in motion, inclusion. Now, Riverside has always been an inclusive community since our founding in 1870 by abolitionist John North. And we continue that tradition by honoring our civil rights heroes on Main Street in our pedestrian mall in downtown Riverside. Last year, I announced that we applied for a $3.4 million grant for the idea of a civil rights walk to better connect our statues on Main Street, honoring heroes like Cesar Chavez, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, and Dosan Ahn-Chang Ho, along with other cultural sites, such as the Cheech and the Civil Rights Institute. And I'm excited to announce tonight this project is now fully funded and underway. With an estimated completion date sometime in 2026. Stay tuned. It's a cool project because it's going to bring new pavement markings and wayfinding stations to connect 17 points of historic interest over 3.4 miles, making it easier and safer for pedestrians to travel along the route. Also in this last year, another cool thing, the City of Riverside and the Dosan Memorial Foundation signed an agreement to explore development of a Korean cultural center in honor of our connection. Ooh, I hear we got back there. In honor of our connection with South Korea and its founder of democracy, Dosan Ahn-Chang Ho. We're proud to celebrate our civil rights icons and heroes in Riverside, and I'm grateful for the leadership of the Dosan Foundation, David Kwok, and Vice President Connie Pike for stepping up to lead the charge on this important project. All right, it's not just that we honor our heroes, we also honor our civil rights icons by being inclusive in our business practices. Last year, we were honored by Lending Tree. We secured 4th place nationally on their list of cities where minority entrepreneurs are thriving. Over 50% of Riverside's businesses are minority owned. I don't know if you knew that. That's a remarkable 170% more than the national average. Now that's something to be proud of. But let's talk about things that continue to lift Riverside up and continue to make us optimistic about our future. I'm particularly proud of our city's successful advocacy efforts that have secured millions in state and federal funding for infrastructure and capital improvement projects. Across the city, we are repaving our roads, initiating projects that will create more walkable neighborhoods, and addressing traffic bottlenecks caused by train crossings. We've invested in our parks a record $23 million to spruce up our playgrounds, bathrooms, and one of my favorites, bringing Fairmont Park back to its former glory. But nothing instills optimism like feeling good about your community and your surroundings, which is why last year I launched Beautify Riverside. This is an initiative that's privately funded, and its purpose is to reinstate civic pride through murals, cleanups, and celebrations. We raised over $80,000 in private donations, held 14 community cleanups, and employed local artists to create 16 murals. So thank you for all your help in making that a success. And another perennial crowd pleaser, the Festival of Lights, saw a return to record levels of attendance, with 65,000 people attending the switch-on ceremony. Was anybody there? Come on. I know I was. 700,000 people enjoyed the Festival of Lights over the course of the holidays. 700,000. And I'm thrilled to announce that the total economic impact for the Festival of Lights in 2023 was, drum roll, $154 million. That's a lot of money. That's up 20% from the last study that we conducted in 2017. We're going to have a full report on what those impacts entail, so stay tuned. All right, I'm going to talk about everybody's favorite subject, infrastructure. What the hell is it? No, I'm just kidding. It seems to have been the word of the year for 2023, right? Everybody, infrastructure, infrastructure. But what does it mean? Really, honestly, do you know what it means? Well, I think the simplest way that you can think of infrastructure is that it is the glue that connects our neighborhoods, provides accessible routes to parks for our children, moves our water and sewer, and it's the foundation of our historic streets that runners, walkers, drivers, and cyclists use daily. Now, we've been bringing more resources for key projects, key infrastructure projects than ever before, like the much anticipated 3rd Street grade separation. So you will not have to wait at those trains on 3rd Street forever now. So be happy about that. That's a big one. And the Adams State Route 91 Freeway project. I don't know if you've been over there, but that's going to improve traffic flow in that area of the city. It's quite a mess over off the Adams off-ramp. And in 2024, we're kicking off several projects like, this one's super exciting, the Van Buren Sewer Project. I know y'all like the sewer project. And a citywide safe routes to school for all elementary and middle schools in Riverside. Oh, and this one you're really going to love. I told you, infrastructure is a very exciting thing to talk about. Our roads will soon be smoother and easier to drive on. With one of the largest infrastructure investments in Riverside's history, we're going to be improving key travel corridors and streets, such as La Sierra, California, Martin Luther King, Indiana, Harupa, Chadbourne, Rutland, and the list goes on. And in 2024, we're not slowing down. We have over 51 miles of road repaving and repairs underway. You can find out when your street is scheduled to be repaved through our interactive portal that shows our public works schedule throughout the city. Just click on a street so you can see when it's going to get its glow up. Now, every day, I fight to make sure Riverside has a seat at the table, that we're getting noticed, and we're getting our fair share of state and federal funding. That has not always been the case here. I know longtime Riversiders know we have not been included in a lot of the funding that goes out. So I worked collaboratively with my colleagues on City Council, our city leadership, as well as regional, state, and federal partners to secure over $300 million for our city since I took office. And this year alone, we've seen an over 60% increase in grant funding, with over 50 grants received, which includes $35 million for housing and homeless efforts, over $14 million for our parks and libraries. No, $41 million for our parks. Yeah, I know, it's a lot. And get this, because you're going to love this. Infrastructure. A whopping $105 million. $105 million for infrastructure throughout the city. Those roads are going to be smooth as butter as you drive on them. I guarantee it. These historic figures are just another reason that points to Riverside's time being now. We are being increasingly recognized for our exceptional planning and growth. Our river district and efforts to restore the river have been highlighted statewide, underscoring our commitment to sustainability. UCR has also made headlines with its groundbreaking Oasis Center. The opportunity to advance sustainability, innovation, and social inclusion, a public-private partnership led by UCR to drive regional economic development through applied research, innovation, entrepreneurship, and workforce development. Oasis secured $65 million in funding toward building a clean tech park, which will transform our region, making us the global leader in sustainability. Thank you, UCR. And the Cheech Museum saw its first anniversary in 2023. Over 100,000 people visited the Cheech in its first year, generating over $200,000 back in revenue to the city. That's pretty good. This amazing partnership continues receiving accolades and awards across the state and nation, like the Helm Putnam Award for Economic Development in the Arts from the League of California Cities, and the National Medal for Museum and Library Science, one of the highest recognitions in the field, awarded to the Riverside Art Museum at the White House this last July. Now, we have many to thank for these astounding achievements, but none more than someone whose legacy will be remembered forever. Ofelia Valdez Yeager. Please join me now as we thank her family who are here tonight. Ofelia was a champion of Riverside. She was a doer, but most important, a friend. Ophi, we will miss you. Now, a recent study by the Americans for the Arts for the city of Riverside found that our community, with its vibrant arts and culture, drives our local economy, also improves the quality of life for our residents, and strengthens business attraction and improves visitor draw. When people spend time in Riverside enjoying the arts, they spend an average of $41 while they're here, not including the ticket price. Now that's up 68% since the last time we did the survey in 2015. So we're doing something right with the arts. Events such as Dia de los Muertos just celebrated its 20th year. Who's in the house that does the Dia de los Muertos? The Lunar Festival's coming up this weekend. I hope you'll all go to that. That's a fun one. And a return of a citrus festival in partnership with the Friends of California Citrus Park and many other festivals and celebrations validate what we already know. Riverside is the city of arts and innovation, leading at all levels. Riverside is not just on the move, it's a city to watch out for. And as I've shared with you tonight, Riverside is a city in motion. We're constantly on the move, pushing, fighting, striving for excellence. And over the course of this next year, my challenge to you is this. Let's tell our Riverside story. Together, let's ask ourselves, what is it that makes Riverside important, valuable, and a worthwhile place to live? Let's ask ourselves, what kind of Riverside do we want to build together? Join me as I share stories monthly on social media and recognize the people, places, businesses, and organizations that positively impact our community. Use hashtag MyRiverside and follow me at Mayor Loch Dawson to join the movement. And in closing, I just want to say, because it is the state of the city, I have never been more confident in the state of our city than now, but also the city that lies ahead, the Riverside of the future, a place for which I am proud. Proud of our ability to lead and to move forward despite our differences and the gravity of the challenges that we face. I'm proud that we're a big city now, leading our region and our state in so many ways, showing the world how it's done, the Riverside way. And I'm proud to celebrate what's happening throughout our city and invite others to join us in this movement. Each of us has a story to tell about what makes Riverside unique and why we love it. Now, my Riverside is a place where my children can live, work, play, and comfortably raise their families. My Riverside is a place where we believe in where we're going and we honor our yesterdays. My Riverside is a place where I feel safe and at ease and hopeful for the future. My Riverside is a city in motion, and we are all Riverside, and we're just getting started. Thank you, everybody.
Hush not, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just
Thank you, Mayor Locke Dawson. As you can see, City of Riverside is a city on the rise. We are a city in motion. Give it up one more time for our mayor. Thank you all for joining us here this evening. Now, we've done a lot of talking. Now is your time to get into the conversation. The reception is going to open right across the hall, and we invite all of you to join us over there with Mayor Locke Dawson and our local elected officials. So please join us right across the hall. Thank you, and have a great evening.